we are going to see the concepts of pandas in Python. So what are pandas? Pandas is an open source Python library. It is an open source Python library. The meaning open source means everyone can use this pandas. Next, Python. These pandas are simple and powerful and expressive tools. So why we use these pandas? We use these pandas for data manipulation and data analysis. So mainly we use these pandas for data manipulation and data analysis. So he is the creator of pandas, guys. His name is Mechanic. So Mechanic is the one who have created these pandas. And do remember, this pandas was included. So if you see here, one thing, one catchy thing, what you have to see. It is created in 2015. But if you go to the birth of Python, Python, when it was invented, it is invented in the year 1990s, right? So that means these pandas are not included in Python programming since the birth of Python. So later this was included. So it was included in the form of a library. So who is the creator of this pandas? Mechanic is the creator of this pandas. Okay. So first point, what you need to remember, pandas is a open source library. Second point, what you need to remember, pandas are used for data manipulation and data analysis. And next third point, Mechanic is the one who is the creator of this pandas. Okay. And if you go more and explore more about pandas, so pandas is a tool for data processing which helps in data analysis. So it is a tool which helps in data analysis, and pandas also provides functions and methods to effectively manipulate large data sets. Okay, so this is just introduction, just about pandas. But now you might get a doubt, right? So we have numpys. So previously we discussed with numpy. So when you have numpy, what is the use of pandas? Why the pandas has come into the market? Okay, so that is the case what you need to discuss. So first point, let me tell you what is this numpy. Okay, so what are the limitations of numpy? Okay, so if you see, when we discuss regarding numpy, what is the main thing of numpy? Numpy is a homogeneous, consists of homogeneous NDE array. Okay, so what is homogeneous? For example, consider this as a numpy, and this is another numpy array. So that is one numpy array. This is one numpy array. Okay, I am making another numpy. So this is the thing that let us. Suppose I have a data. Okay, so I have a data 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Suppose A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Suppose 11, A, B, 12, C, 13, 14, F, H, something like that. Okay. Thing is, what is the problem with NumPy? So NumPy is used, you can do certain data manipulations. Okay. So you can do certain arithmetic operations, you can do certain scientific operations and other things using NumPy. But the limitation of NumPy is a homogeneous ND array. So all the elements should be either numeric or all the elements should be either textual, but the combination of numeric and textual data is not possible. But if you come here, always we will not work only with numeric data or only with textual data. A lot of times in the real world, we have to work with the data where you have a data which is in a form of columns and which is in a form of rows, and some columns consisting of textual data. For example, if you see here a demographic data set, so here I have a column with the name country name. Here we have a column with country code. Here we have a column with birth rate. Here we have a column with internet users. Here we have a column with income. If you see This birth rate, it consists of numeric data. If you see this internet users, it consists of numeric data. So country name is textual data, and income group. It appears to be textual data, but it has different categories like high income, low income, upper middle income, and lower middle income, different categories. Okay. So when you need to work with the data, where the data consists of different data types. So numeric, categorical, textual, Boolean, binary, and these type of things, what you can use this pandas. That is the reason the pandas has come into the market. Okay. So if you see what are pandas and other things, so mainly pandas, it is first thing is pandas are open source Python library. Second thing is they are used for data manipulation and data analysis. Okay. So data manipulation and data analysis. Suppose I want to multiply this birth rate and internet users. I want to create a separate column. Separate from this data set, I want to get only high income countries I can get. So from this data set, I want to get the country with highest birth rate, lowest birth rate. I can get these type of things. Okay. So that is what data manipulation and data analysis means, right? So you see, so using this pandas has a lot of functions and methods to effectively manipulate large data sets. We can effectively manipulate large data sets using this pandas. Okay. And pandas consists of two things, guys. What are the two things that pandas consists of? It consists of the first thing is pandas series, which is a one-dimensional array. So pandas series is a one-dimensional array. And if you see pandas data frame is a two-dimensional. Okay, so one dimensional array means so it will be like this. Okay, so you will have only indexing, so you won't have rows and columns. This is a one dimensional one. But if you see two dimensional one, so two dimensional one is a one where you have both rows and columns, both rows and columns. So that is what a two-dimensional one is. So pandas deals with pandas series, that is one-dimensional one, and pandas data frame, that is two-dimensional one. So this is what pandas can do. So this is series, pandas series. So what is a series? Series is a one-dimensional array with labels. So this is index. This is not a column. So this is data. A, B, C, D, E, F is a data. So this is for A, index is 1. For B, index is 2. For C, index is 3, and so on. So series is one-dimensional array with labels. It contain any data type, including integers, string, float, Python object. So what is the thing mainly you have to observe here? A pandas series can include integers, can include strings, can include floats, can include Python objects. Like Python object means like you can have list, you can have a tuple, you can have a dictionary. Okay, these type of things you can have in this Panda series. But anyway, we are going to see practically what are the different Python objects we can have in Panda series. So this is about Panda series. So Panda series is a one-dimensional array with labels. It contains index as well as the data. And if you see data frame is a two-dimensional one. Okay. So if you see here, guys, this is a data set actually, but when you start working with that, it is called as a data frame. But this has a two-dimensional look. Okay. And data frame is a two-dimensional data structure with labels. You can use labels to locate data. So what we use labels to locate the data. Generally, it has different columns. Otherwise, you can say each column has series of data, and it has something called as row index, and it has something called as column index also. Okay. So it has a row index and column index. For example, think that we made this data set as a data frame. So if you see here, country name. So what is the index? Row index is 0. Country code row index is 1. Birth rate row index is 2. Internet users row index 3. Income group row index 4. So again, sorry, column index. So again, row index. So each and everything has row index. So a pandas data frame has row index, column index, and it is made up of series of data. That is what you can see. And then go to the next one, next slide. issue, I guess. Okay. Yeah. So what can be done using this? What can be done using this pandas data frame? So what you can do using this pandas? Okay. So different tasks can be done using this pandas. And if you see what are the different features of pandas, so pandas has both series and a data frame. Series is a one-dimensional object. Data frame is a two-dimensional object. So what we can do handling of missing data. So what we can do handling of missing data because sometimes you can't have a data. For example, let me open the data set, missing data set. So come here. Let me see whether I have the data set or not. First of all, sing values. Give me a type this. Let me open this Excel. So if you see this data set, if you see this data set, this data set, generally, guys, in the real world, we will not get the data set, the complete data set. Sometimes we used to work, we have to work with this data set where some values are missing. For example, here, so age column is there. See, this age is missing. So here, annual income is missing. Here, this column spending score is missing for this 10th row. For this fourth row, city is missing. Okay. So we can handle this missing value. So you may ask how we can handle the missing values. For example, I want to go for the city. What I can do, I can go through the city names and I can take the mode of the city. So mode of the city means most repeated city. So I can use that mode of the city here. For example, age is there. This and here age is missing. So what I can do, I can take the average and I can fill this with the average. Annual income is there. So you can even I can take average of the annual income and I can fill. So not only taking average, guys, you can take mean, you can take mode. Okay, sometimes you can take a value before to it. Sometimes you can take a value after to it. Okay, sometimes you can take average of both these values. So this type of things we can do. So that is what is nothing but handling missing data. So we can do handling missing data. And we can do data alignment using pandas. Data alignment means changing rows into columns, columns into rows and changing, adding an extra column and other things. And next, using pandas, what you can do group by functionality also. For example, if you see here, this is the data set where you have income group. So we have high income, low income, upper middle income, lower middle income. So we have different groups over here, high income and all. Suppose I want to group by high income, I can do that one. If I want to group by low income, I can do. Okay. So such type of functionality also we can do, that is group by functionalities. And we can do slicing, indexing, and subsetting of it of the data. So slicing means I told you, suppose if I want only first 10 rows of country name, country code, birth rate, and internet users, I can slice this one. Suppose if I want only country name, country code, birth rate, I can get like this one. Okay, so subsetting, I can do subsetting, I can do slicing, I can do indexing. So for example, here index is, for example, country name has an index of 0, country code has an index of 1, country birth rate has index. So I don't want this as index. I want country name as the index, country code as the index, birth rate as the index. Okay, so you can change that indexes as well as. Okay, so series. So what are the different things what we can do using this pandas is we can deal with one dimensional thing, that is panda series. We can do two dimensional thing. We can handle the missing data. We can do data alignment. We can do group by functionality. We can do slicing, indexing, subsetting. Not only that, we can merge and join different data sets also. Okay. So merge. So what is merge and what is joining? Okay. So joining of two data sets based upon the common column. Suppose if you see, I have the sales, okay, sales data. So here in this, I have January sales data. Here I have February sales data. I have March sales data. For example, I want first quarter data. So what I have to do, I have to merge this data, and this data. I can do that type of merging of the data as well as, okay. And if you see, what we can do reshaping also, change into columns, and we can do hierarchical labeling of axes. So axes, so columns, rows, and all labeling we can do. We can do robotic input and output tools, so adding some things and getting an output. And also we can work with time series specific functionality. So what is time series specific functionality? Suppose we have a data set where in the data set we are dealing with the stock data. So if you observe this stock data will change according to the time. Okay, so the data which changes according to the time, we call that one as time series data. So we can work using pandas. You can work with this time series data also. Okay, so these are the different features of pandas. So I repeat again, these are the different features. So pandas can work both with series and data frame. Pandas are used for handling the missing data. Pandas are used for data alignment. And we can do group by functionalities, slicing, indexing, subsetting of the data, merging and joining of the data, reshaping of data, hierarchical labeling of the data. And next we can work with time series functionality. So this is what pandas is, guys. So now, if you see pandas, what type of data sets we can handle? Okay, so we can handle one-dimensional data, that is panda series. We can also handle multi-dimensional data. So one-dimensional data, we deal with panda series object. Two-dimensional data, we deal with the pandas data frame. And three-dimensional data, we call it as panel data. Okay, so sometimes we need to work with panel data, and most of the time we will work with the data frames only. We will not interact with the three-dimensional data. Okay, so we'll be discussing more on series and pandas data frame. Fine. So that is the thing, guys. So this is about pandas. Now we shall practically see what is panda series. So what we are going to do, we are going to see what is PANDAS series. So come here. So this is the definition of PANDAS series. The PANDAS series can be defined as one-dimensional array that is capable of storing various data types. We can easily convert a list, a tuple, a dictionary using series method. Okay, so the series method will have something called as labeling, indexing labeling. A series cannot contain multiple columns. Okay, so it cannot contain multiple columns. So these are the different methods: series indexing, series shape, series data type, series size. Anyway, we are going to see all these things now, guys. So come here. So let us practically start working with Pandas series. So come here, let me open my Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter notebook, let me hide meeting controls. Let me go to the code. Okay. So we are going to see Panda series, which is a one dimension. Fine. How to write this Panda series? PD dot series. Okay, so let me take with an example. Here I have a list. Observe carefully, guys. Observe carefully. So list one equal to elements 12, 24, 32. So what is list one? It consists of elements 12, 24, and 32. Now S4 equal to PD dot series of list one. So what I am doing, I am converting this list into a pandas. Do you remember when we are discussing with NumPy? So what we had seen how to convert a list into an ARR equals to NP dot ARR array of what we will mention list one and ARR. So what this will do, this will convert this list one into an array. So that is what we had seen. So if you run that one, so this is ARR NP dot array. So if you see, it threw a error. What is the error? NP not defined. So what you have to do? You have to import that library. So import numpy as NP. Now try to run that one. It will come. Okay. So thing is, we have a list with elements 12, 24, 32, and we converted this list into an array by using np.array and converting that list. This is the array. Similarly, you can convert this list also into pandas series. Okay. How to convert this into a pandas series? So this is the piece of code. Here. S4 equal to PD dot series of list one. Which one you want to convert into the list? Series panda series, this list one. Oh, S4. Right. So see the same problem. Name PD is not defined. So what you have to do, you have to import this PD. So import PANDAS as PD. And if you ask me whether we need to import this PD pandas with the alias name of PD only, no, it is not mandatory. You can import with any of the alias name. Okay, so for example, I want to import with the Shri. Okay, so run it. Pandas as Shri. So here what I'm doing, I'm just modifying it as Shri. Run it. See, it execute. But in general, the real term scenario, so most of the people will use this import pandas as PD. So I am changing it again back to PD. Alright. So this is S4, if you observe. Who is that? If you are listening,